Sage Liev are the two guys who are in charge of GGWP. And yeah, they they sort of formed out of a number of players who I want to say sort of circled the 07 community who had learned from them and whatnot, and they got put together and did exceptionally well in their first and second season. So we'll see how they fare up against the multi-time COTS champions 07. And speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and get us started. Potato Quality and William the Dank bringing the big guns of the Ohios, followed up by Cocknuts in Des Moines, Shaquille Oatmeal, Jake from State Farm in the Minotaur, because of course, NF Jones taking the Goliath, John the Ruthless in a Venezia, and then Gearing, Daring, and Shimakaze for their DDs. 3 DDs from 07.
Alrighty. And over on the Good Luck Have Fun GGWP second team, we've got the Shikishimi Ohio Kaiga Dazzling Fox and Almazy Cypher, respectively, kind of inversed. I think I said that wrong. Random shot, is that actually going to connect with anything? That would be pretty crazy if it did. We've got we got 3 Des Moines, a Goliath, and triple DD. We've got a Gearing, Daring, Marceau.
Wow, they just love to do their opening salvos, don't they? We'll see if Kaga gets himself in trouble here with that. I don't know. I mean, some of the best battleship players in the world are facing them on 07 side, and they're asking to be shot right now. Let me put it that way. So 07 starting off by putting the Gearing towards the ACAP, followed by the Minotaur and Venezia, being backed up by William the Danks Ohio. Daring of the Potato, excuse me for burping, that's horrible, is going to go ahead and at least keep the B-cap honest, while Cocknuts' Des Moines does the same. Very, very few ships going over to the C-cap in the form of Frice's Shimakaze. NF Jones is the Goliath, and Potato Quality's Ohio going to go ahead and round that out for them. So a heavier A-side push from 07 this time.
Yeah, definitely. They're committing quite a lot to the open water, as opposed to GLHF, which has a Gearing, so it's going to be some Gearing smoke, covering a Goliath and a Shiki, and that's it. There is the double Daring at Bravo. The Potato 69 eventually might be seen by Optical X. However, there is a Des Moines and Cocknuts hiding around the corner, ready to pounce on that Daring if he tries to make a move. We've got Velius's Des Moines moving up to counter the Des Moines position of 07. And down in the south, we've got an Ohio double Des Moines looking for that long 9-10 line wrap. They're not in Salem's, but they are in Des Moines, and they're going to know what they're doing as Gentleman Walrus about to finish the C-cap.
Okay, so first cap goes to the Marceau of Gentleman Walrus, and frankly, not a surprise, as the Marceau can get in there extraordinarily quickly. Potato's Daring taking some shots from Velius's Des Moines early on. We'll see if Frice attempts to back in and cap C, looking very likely, as at this point, GGWP may have taken the, Good Luck Have Fun may have taken the early cap there, but they really don't have a way of contesting it if Frice is able to get it back, as the 2 Des Moines really don't have the radar range to actually do that and seem to be going towards the 9-10 line. So Marceau doubling back now down the 9 line. We'll see where he ends up. He may go and attempt to reinforce B. Out here at A, of course, Shaquille Oatmeal, Jake from State Farm, known for his antics, shall we say, in the Minotaur, has very bravely brought a Minotaur to COTS. And we'll just see if he takes torpedoes from Obi-Wan Kenobi's Gearing in the smoke.
Looked like he just popped his radar just to be safe, and sure enough, Obi-Wan Kenobi is backing out, not looking to contest at all, and that's going to be A-cap falling to 07, which will bring it back to a 1-1. Frice about to step into Charlie, while B continues to be kind of a staring match. Des Moines keeping the cap clean, while both Darings not daring the waters, the treacherous waters filled with radar in front of them. Frice is about to touch Charlie, which is going to stop the little point spigot, but already we see that GLHF is up by dang near 50 points, and that's a pretty considerable lead.
Yeah, it really can be. Although we've pointed out already today, and we've seen in the future, that 07 is really especially skilled at being down on points at the beginning, but being up on positioning. And here comes the first big moment, I would say, as Dort rode her better, backing in. Will he make the mistake of going forward? He won't, and he dodges those torps. Well ridden, sir. I don't know who that is underneath that delightful name. but we might find out later, as most of the '07 players are pretty well known to the community, having been on the center stage for quite a while. So look at this real aggressive push coming up the seaside from two DMs and a Marceau from Good Luck Have Fun. They are going to pretty easily wrap up Shimikaze of Thrice and NF Jones's Goliath here. However, if you're going to have one ship left on the flank, Goliath is not a bad ship to have. Enormous HP potential and able to light a lot of fires on those DMs.
Yeah, the long play of the double Des Moines has finally come through. It's going to take a few minutes for it to get into position, but now that it has, like a lumbering trebuchet against some old stone walls in a building filled with people that don't want to get mauled, those walls are going to be coming down. The Killstar Whaler moving up, and even though the Shimikaze of Thrice was able to take Charlie, as these Des Moines realize, wow, this Goliath is off in nowhere land, they're going to move up safely, start to move, and start to assault Charlie. They may not have the detection of a small destroyer able to take this thing away from Thrice's Shimikaze, but they have the weight of an Ohio, a Des Moines, a double Des Moines, and potentially a Marceau if they wanted to shove it in as well. I really think they could close the deal on this, but they are going to have to start making the moves to do so, as this the Goliath of NF Jones is not a threat at this moment.
Yep, it's very interesting how that's working. Jones doing, I think, the correct thing, whereas he's moving to a position that doesn't allow GGWP to push forward and wrap up. They have to respect the Goliath being there, or risk taking a lot of damage. So great positioning from MF Jones up there, keeping that flank relatively safe. Now, '07 sitting on 2 caps at the moment. They're about 120 points up at the moment. The biggest thing here is I don't quite know how GGWP makes a play on any of the caps. C cap would be their best bet. They need to get either the Marceau or that DM up there into that corner and to try and hold it, because '07 has virtually no way of stopping them from doing that. The Marceau is probably going to want to make a beeline at this point for it, because if your plan is to outtrade '07 on other areas so that you can push them back, that's a bad plan, generally speaking. So they have an enormous commitment of resources up here. They need to get either the Marceau of Gentleman Walrus and the Des Moines of Whaler to really put pressure on that Goliath, or they need to get the Marceau into the cap.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this GLHF push over here with the double Des Moines raining into a Goliath that is currently kiting, running away at a distance of, looks like 15, 16 kilometers. That's just not going to be an appreciable amount of damage. The amount of health that the Goliath is going to have is going to far outpace whatever shells actually hit this. And noting that, Gentleman Rawless turns in. He's going to be plunging himself into the depths of the sea cap. Once again reclaim it and start taking points, as '07 is now just about 200 points to the better. Meanwhile, over in Bravo, GLHF has to make some moves. Velius is shrugging off some shells, but they are taking pieces of the ship with it, as Optical X continues to hang out in the nearby area, not able to do anything. Does look like there's some movement between the Minotaur and Des Moines of Cocknuts and Shaquille Oatmeal, which means there may actually be a play here if Optical knows. Otherwise, I can fully imagine Optical could just rush the hell out of A, team up with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and see if they could make a highlight reel on Dort Rotor Better, or at least run him the fuck off and take Alpha Cap. That's going to have to be something that happens, and it's going to happen soon, because even if they take Charlie, that's 1 cap to 1 cap, and they are still down by almost 250 points. That's a problem.
That's going to be the problem here. It looks like Kaga Dazzling Fox going to take 1 torpedo from Thrice's Shimikaze, taking it in the nose. Not quite so bad as the saturation kicks in and allows him to take a little bit less here. But so indeed, Whaler's Des Moines over here actually getting quite a bit of damage put out there, but he's trading with an Ohio. And not only that, it's potato quality, known for his ability to land shots precisely. I don't think that's a good trade, to be completely honest. William the Dank here in Ohio in the west side, taking a lot of damage, looking to back off here. He has been in reverse so that he can reverse it whenever he wants to. As Shaquille Oatmeal, Jake from State Farm's Minotaur, already getting open watering. Is he running range? He's firing at the Ohio at 19 kilometers in it. What an asshole. He's such a dick. Okay, so
if it's a best of 3, that means you got 1 to lose. So hey, you can take some chances. But nonetheless, that's a Minotaur. Shaquille Oatmeal is peeling off. I don't know, peeling. Yeah, there's not really a pun there, I guess. And then we've got the Des Moines of Cocknuts plunging back toward Bravo, so he can light off the radar and scare Optical once more from Bravo Cap. So a whole bunch of nothing continues to happen. The Des Moines of Velius is not really that badly hurt, and I think actually could move forward and kind of take some shots, although of course he is under the guns of William the Dank. If he's able to pressure Cocknuts all the way down to 18,000 health in a Des Moines, not a Salem, that damage could stick. And if this Des Moines goes down, that's going to unlock the B cap. But the Des Moines got to go down, something's got to give, and right now it doesn't look like that's got a chance, unless maybe GLHF's Kaga Dazzling Fox finds a shot onto Cocknuts with 15,000 health. Currently, once again, 250 points to 07. If 07 is ahead on points and not forced to hit the F it button, that's not a good sign for GLHF.
No, indeed. So, worth pointing out over here that at the A cap, the gearing of Obi-Wan Kenobi attempting to put some pressure onto Dort Rotor Better, but getting absolutely slapped by John the Ruthless's Venezia, who just put sap after sap into Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that's HP he cannot get back. So it's looking very much as though A-Cap is firmly in control by 07. However, 07 now gaining points back on the board as A has been released from the cap contest, as the Shikishima and the Goliath from Good Luck Have Fun are making an aggressive push, trying to take down William the Dank. So the question remains here is, without radar, are they going to be able to get that gearing? As potato quality now, over here, potato quality is reversed. He can take off whenever he needs to, but taking lots of damage as Cocknut sits at 7,800 HP.
Yeah, they got to find a kill. GLHF has to make something. They got to translate something over here. Shikishima might be able to take a bite out of Cocknuts, as the smoke has just gone down and he might be lit, but I don't know if he's got that shot primed. GLHF is going to have to get off the border, as two Des Moines and an Ohio are hanging out at F and G9, which they've already got Charlie, so that's not going to get them anything more, although they are able to chisel into potato quality. The Ohio has that fast cycling heal, able to take a crapload of punishment like a brawler. Down goes Optical, down goes Bravo. GLHF has to kick this in gear because they do not have much time left.
No, indeed. So torpedoes coming in from the Minotaur, no less. Shaquille Oatmeal's torpedoes finding their place on the Daring as Cocknuts goes down. Both teams with a kill on the board now. We are at 8 minutes remaining. It's been 12. So what's happening, I've noticed, is that GGWP, Good Luck Have Fun, attempted to make a heavy push up the 910 line, and somewhat rightfully were stopped dead in their tracks by a Goliath, and really just a Goliath. They have now doubled back, but they've gone the long way, and I don't know that that's doing them any favors, as I feel like they need to start trying to push that line of 07 northwards, and it's just it's going to be very difficult as the Marceau attempts to head back towards B, but they are I don't know that they're winning the trades or not over at A. They just don't really have a way of getting the gearing out of A, of Dort Rotor Better, without some form of radar that they just don't have.
Yeah, so it looks like the Ohio Des Moines are going to be basically out of the fight, although the Ohio is chucking shots over potato quality at the moment. They're not going to be in a position to provide pressure to get points for at least 2, maybe 3 minutes before they could even get close, maybe to deal with Bravo. The Des Moines radar did go down. Gentleman Walrus could sneaky on over there, take a fight to a Daring using a Des Moines radar, but that's going to require him to get off of Charlie. They have Charlie. They've had Charlie for a long time, and outside of slowly burning down potato quality, this lack of cap parity is really a problem for them, as the Potato 69 does a ballsy maneuver backing into Bravo, taking shots from a Des Moines because trying to collapse that extra cap just to really seal the deal. But the Potato is actually getting the rear end of his ship ripped off by Velius, who kind of took the bait. Move forward, and so much health is disappearing down to 5,000, trying to heal vainly. 6,000 still coasting forward, maybe looking to seal this kill before he goes down. 5,000 going even lower, shooting into the Potato, kind of missing. 5,000 on the Potato. Less health on the Des Moines. He doesn't have much here, but can this become a trade? It is. He's able to take care of the destroyer over at Bravo. That's going to let Gentleman Walrus actually run the show, although the detection on the Marceau is pretty not great. That's going to require Shaquille Oatmeal to run it down Bravo if he's going to have any hope of holding that cap.
This is actually pretty big. So hear me out here real quick. Gentleman Walrus can take B with basic impunity now. Shaquille O'Neal can actually reverse and possibly get radar on the cap, but I think the timing of it is not actually going to be. It's not going to work for Jake. I think he's too far away to actually radar Gentleman Walrus. Even if Walrus steps on the cap, Jake is still considerably far away. And again, it's a Minotaur. It's vulnerable at close range. The gearing of Obi-Wan Kenobi has in fact stepped on the cap. He's in smoke, and there's no radar to contest him, which means O7 no longer scoring points at the moment. The east side has completely been rolled up. The Goliath of NF Jones has actually moved away, which allows the Killstar to move up and is now going to put pressure probably on Potato Quality or maybe even onto Shaquille Oatmeal as boom! Torpedoes from the gearing, taking down the Shikishima. That's enormous. Such a threat of Crossfire just got taken off the board by 07.
Yeah, that is super painful. The loss of points there was definitely not something GLHF needed. And even worse, those torps were spotted not only by Obi-Wan Kenobi, but continuing to be spotted by the Goliath of Chukwama, who just went down to a shot from William the Dank, firing out from the Ohio. 16,000 health, but the guns work fine. That's going to clean off the A-cap something serious. And Dort Rotor Better is about to look at riding Obi-Wan Kenobi to the grave as he's already moving backward. I'm expecting him to just full forward and YOLO this dude down, but he is still playing safe at the moment. Nonetheless, A is going to have somebody riding herd over it pretty soon. There you have two caps over to GLHF. Bravo and C have been secured. 07 falling back to a bit of a support position as Potato Quality falls back. William the Dank backing up, trying to stay safe with only 16,000 health left. At this point, 5 minutes 48 seconds, that's not enough time to get the win, as only 3 minutes and 52 seconds remain in the game. I think they might even have to get another kill, potentially this gearing somehow, but yeah, that can't happen.
This is going to be so difficult. It's worth noting 07 not gaining points at the moment. However, they are now feeling a little more confident about their HP and numerical superiority, and they're going to start putting pressure, yes, on Obi-Wan Kenobi's gearing. If he goes down, that's the entire west flank, and down he goes. Yes, down he goes. Potato Quality earlier, again, showing his muscle by planting 20,000 through the nose of the Des Moines of Killstar. It's odd because, again, 07 having a deceptively... They sort of folded back and almost allowed themselves to get horseshoed, but again, they just have this enormously raw skill on their team in the ability to land their shots. I mean, you wouldn't think sometimes that it just comes down to who's better at just knowing where the shots are going to land and therefore predicting if someone's coming at me, he's most likely to turn and decelerate in this manner if I shoot at him. So that's where I'm going to shoot my shots. And William the Dank, Potato Quality being known for that particular skill set. So this is looking decisively in the favor of 07 at the moment. However, GGWP has had some really spicy moments where it was not at all decided up until just a little while ago.
It is a minute and 27 seconds. Potato Quality with 12,000 health remaining, down to 10. He is in smoke, spotted somehow, probably by radars from the double Des Moines. Whaler is extremely low, but so is Potato Quality. If it ends up being a trade, they don't really gain, but if it's not a trade, they did actually gain a little bit of breathing room. 2 minutes, 39 seconds. It's a difference of about 200 points, which frankly is just... it's a lot. I don't see any other shots really going to happen unless William the Dank takes a hit, and Whaler with 977 health. If he goes down, that absolutely seals the deal. No way in hell these points change with a minute 41 to go. 171 health on the Whaler.
Well, let's see. Blap? No Blap! William the Dank just missing. Oh, here come the AG shells from the Destroyer. No! Oh my god, Fryce and MF Jones both attempting to take down Whaler. Here comes the last volley. Is he gonna get it? Yes, he gets it. I don't know how Whaler was spotted there as game one goes to 07. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Congratulations.
Now, you were talking about the ability to land those shots, do that damage, and etc. Well, a little birdie has told me that 07 has very high PR, and wouldn't you know it, PR comes from dealing shitloads of damage and getting shitloads of kills. So absolutely absolutely expectable that 07 is going to be landing that damage and getting those kills. That's exactly what we saw just at the end there, and even I believe it was the Ohio of somebody on GLHF, Kaga Dazzling, I believe it was, went down right at the end after we saw that Des Moines fall as well, which sealed the deal. Quite a bit of an attrition battle, but I don't actually think it was about the attrition that won it. I think it was the cap control. I think it was just too dominant. There was this long situation at B where nothing happened. Eventually there was a kill onto a Des Moines as it came back in and just was not able to stay up. I think that was Cocknuts that got slapped out of B, and eventually they started to be able to kind of contest it, and absolutely that Des Moines versus Destroyer play where they were able to kill each other, that opened up B, and that was a cap unlocked, but that required Destroyer to move from C to B. What if they'd had a Destroyer move from B to A, oh god, 5-10 minutes earlier? They could have maybe forced something at Alpha and gotten some points coming back. And the Des Moines over on the wide, unable to move too quickly. They can't be flat-footed against an 07. If they've got the point lead, that's going to be a problem. You want 07 on the back foot, so when they hit that F it button, they're trying to claw those points back before the end of the match. And you're forcing them to get kills, forcing them to take positions. If you're 300 points to the good on 07's side, that's an extreme hill to climb.
It certainly is. And 07 once again showing that they are the masters of the long game as, well, quite frankly, I mean, they just out-trade you, and that's what they do. They'll give ground. We saw MF Jones's Goliath head up there towards the north just to prevent people from being able to wrap up. And literally, that's all it took. And then all they do is they wait, and they trust in their battleships to be able to out-trade properly and to land those shots where and how they need them. And that's exactly what happened. So true to form, they've done an exceptionally good job. I need to take care of a little bit of clerical business here, so I need maybe 2 or 3 minutes while these guys get their second match set up. To both streams for a moment, if I may. There's a 5-minute delay on everybody's stream for these matches for the specific purpose of not allowing someone to essentially watch the games and report back live to whomever is playing to give unfair information or an advantage. It's the same reason why the casters are not allowed to cast people of their own clan, which is why you won't see me casting TNG games, and you won't see Oscons casting KSC, X, or F this time around, as those are the teams involved, which means neither of us will be doing that since we're doing it together. The whole reason is to not, A, unfairly influence the game, the fairness of the game, and also to not make it suck for you guys watching. Nobody wants someone to come into one of these streams that's 5 minutes behind and spoiling the match by saying, I heard from somebody who was on the team that 5 minutes ago they won. Like, nobody wants to hear that, because then it's like, well, why are we watching then? So I just want to encourage anyone. There's there's like 100 something people watching right now. There's 200. There are 200 people watching. Thank you, by the way. Please don't do that. Please, please, please don't spoil matches if they haven't finished yet. All you have to do is wait 5 minutes. If you can't discipline yourself 5 minutes to not ruin somebody else's experience, what are you even doing? So please, 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 please. That's happened several times now in both Virtual Senpai's stream and also mine. So don't do it. That's the fastest way to get yourself kicked. Sorry, TED Talk over.
Spoilers is bitches. Snitches get stitches and bans and shit. Don't do it. I think I've been fortunate. I believe most of my chat is asleep, so we've got that going. You got the handsome face. I've got the dull be right back screen that just kind of lasts for like 20 minutes at a time. So my viewer retention fluctuates highly.
So I'm being told right now also that my team, TNG, 6 of their players are unable to connect to the training room, which is very strange. Apparently they have spoken to the COTS refs. They were speaking with SFNL, with a couple of with Duke and Quadrilus. Yeah, they're doing that right now with Potato Armor for XPN. I'm finding out that it looks like Antonius Jones right now is actually explaining to them via a Discord stream that they can't get their people to connect to the training room, and that 6 or 7 of the total 9 are unable to do so. I don't know quite why that is. So I hope that gets fixed up for them right now, as they've done an exceptionally good job. I hope that's not going to be something that ends up costing them around.
Yeah, I don't imagine so. I mean, the refs are people too. Everybody knows that stuff happens. If it's a demonstrable hardware failure, I mean, worst case, this is a Sunday, right? So they could always reschedule the match for a Monday. They could reschedule it for before, pre-season next week or something if it has to be. So, I mean, there's options. But maybe they just end up having a different person open up the room. I don't know what the rules are in terms of how hard and fast, X person makes the room and that's just the way it is. Maybe they could get lucky doing something like that.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure. Huh.
I mean, still, if you have a reproducible hardware issue, like, it's one thing if, Joe out and wherever his internet goes down and it's like, well, what do I do? In that case, you got a sub, you got a backup person or whatever. But like, when over half of your team cannot connect to a server, I mean, that's not your fault. That's not. It just is what it is. I'm sure there'd be something they could do to take care of that, even if it's just rescheduling the match by a little bit.
Yeah, I hope so. I do hope that happens. As hard not to be proud of your boys when they're putting up good numbers. So
maybe they should call the network guys. Oh,
network guys. Well, it's strange that 6 of them can't connect. Like, when 2/3 of your team can't connect and no one else is having an issue, that's
bizarre.
I don't know. That's it's tough to make sense of that. So
maybe there's just a bad node or something in the US, and so like I am not an internet wizard, but there are a lot of nodes that a lot of information gets routed through, and if one of them kind of like bogs down or it's just times out or something, like it's connecting to the game but it's not connecting to the sub servers or something they use for wherever this is. I mean, if they have somebody else make the training room, then maybe it would populate on a different node. I don't know. I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Okay, looks like our teams are ready here.
Yeah, it does look like everybody's readied up, so we're potentially looking at a Game 2 on Crash Zone Alpha coming up pretty soon. crickets.
Well, it does look as though Jake from State Farm, also known as Shaquille Oatmeal, has been subbed out for Quincy OVO from UR. We'll see. I guess they got away with the Minotaur, but maybe decided Minotaur was a little too much fun.
I find that oatmeal has a lot of starch content, so like when you eat the oatmeal, it kind of you get ready to go for a little bit, but then all of a sudden you get the tired coming in behind it. So maybe you just got to take a nap, kind of sleep off the oatmeal blues, and then you come in on the next one.
Okay, well, game is getting started here. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look over here. 07 coming in this time on Crash Zone Alpha with Montana, Yamato, Des Moines Goliath, Stalingrad, Marceau, Shimakaze, Haragumo. Very interesting. So they've traded out one of the cruisers for Haragumo to function as a light cruiser, and then brought the Marceau and two Shimas to function as DDs. So we're very likely going to be looking at a 3-cap contest strategy coming in from 07.
Remarkable. The DD Menace is out in force. 4 on one side, 4 on the other, with GLHF coming out with a gearing Marceau, Shimakaze. Double Marceau could absolutely rip through an enemy destroyer team. So if they play in a pair, that's going to be a dastardly gank squad. Other ships, Yamato, Shikishima, so opting for big guns and bigger guns, and Double Des Moines and Goliath is going to round out the team.
Once again, good luck, have fun tossing some cheeky shots from the Shikishima and the Yamato out at where they think the opponents are going to be. Will Dank get... No way. Okay, no. Although they did actually put it right in the spot where the Stalingrad of woman driver beep beep, Jesus Christ, you guys, is going to be. I guess no one wanting to return fire onto these gigantic Japanese battleships. But let's see here. So strategy, Marceau and Haragumo coming together. Very interesting. Marceau probably going to act as a spotter for the Haragumo at A. Shimakaze going to B. Shimakaze going to C. For cap contest, going to be met by Optical's Shimakaze. However, double Marceau from Good Luck Have Fun going central. What on earth is this devilry?
Looks like they're using that detection of the Shimakaze to try to spot their prey while staying sneaky on behind them. And turns out Shima's just going to take Bravo because the Potato 69 is not really in a position to be able to go back in on that. He's going to drop a smoke for the Des Moines, which might actually be able to light and reset the Shima when a radar pops off. But in general, the Shimakaze is probably not going to nose into B, as a lot of competitive players like to have an out. So I don't expect they're going to be able to stop that Bravo cap from being taken. And the double Marceau, the wolf pack waiting in the wings, is going to go have to find a new target, as 07 is already starting to cap A and is almost done with it. Quincy having finished this out, Frice in pursuit. Shimakaze of 07 is about to take Charlie as well. Looks like the gamble at Bravo has lost GLHF 2 caps for 1.
Yeah, I suppose so. The question is, where do the Marceaus go when they figure out they're not going to be able to catch and trap a DD at B? I'm guessing that was the plan, although, yeah, we're just going to have to see. Is anybody going to take a rogue torpedo here is a big question. There's 2 waves of 07 torpedoes on their way. Are they going to find a mark on the Marceaus? Unlikely, which then begs the question, are any of the return torpedoes? No. Everything is gliding harmlessly by. As Frice's Haragumo, however, may be another story. 1 rogue torpedo? Nope. Everybody skates by.
So now we've gone from 1 cap to 1 to potentially 3 caps to 07, and once again, that's looking real quick. Like 07's going to be lurching forward in the points race. Putting 07, giving them the buffer, giving them wiggle room to decide whether they want to make a play or not make a play, that's going to be tough. It's already hard enough to kill them when it's even. You're giving them an advantage in the fight. Ugh, that's going to be tough. These Marceaus have got to find something to kill and to drag it down like the wolf pack that they are.
Big hits coming in onto the Yamato of Dazzling Fox there. I think must have been potato quality, putting about 26k onto Kaga from quite the distance there. Lots of torpedoes being traded. Looking position-wise, here come the Marceaus, and not only do they come up to sea, but they're being flanked by a pair of Des Moines who are making an aggressive push up here. Here's what we're going to need to see if this is going to work. The two Marceaus absolutely must cap C. They must cap C, and they must then reposition either to B or chase something down, which I doubt they'll do, because so many resources are being committed to C up here. And what they can't do is allow MF Jones to basically just push them off the same way they did in the last match. So right now, like you said, 3 caps for 07 versus none for Good Luck Have Fun.
Yeah, high pressure play happened over at, on the Haragumo of Frice. He happened to take a torp on the nose. So he didn't quite take half his health in hit damage, but still, that's a significant amount on the Haragumo. Granted, it's going to be chucking shells probably from safety or in a smoke cloud, so it's not going to have much of an issue on a flank that does not have any form of detection other than maybe a Hydro and a Goliath that we will never get close enough to use it. So not a big play over there, but they're going to know that a torp hit one of the DDs, and that might embolden them to make a play. Over in Bravo, we've got Optical X contesting B, good, and that he's not giving points away, but he's definitely not going to be able to dislodge the potato, especially with Cocknuts Des Moines over there, already engaged, taking shots across the map and pressuring that which is south of Alpha. If we look at it, GLHF, between the Alpha Bravo cap, has 4 ships. 07 has 6. That's not going to look pretty well. Almazy Cypher taking some damage, Chukwama is taking some damage, and Obi-Wan Cannoli does not have an in, so looks like over at sea, this double Marceau stuff is still playing pretty safe. They are on Charlie for now, double Des Moines going wide, but this is still looking like it's probably 3, maybe 4 minutes away from getting really relevant. That's a lot of points in the favor of 07.
Yep, and the major thing here is that both teams are effectively attempting the same strategy, which is to make sort of a pinwheel or a spiral push around the flank. GGWP, Good Luck Have Fun, obviously taking the northern side around C. They're using 2 Des Moines to do that, and a pair of Marceau in the middle to basically say, we're going to take this cap, I dare you to open up on us if you're a DD. However, the Des Moines pair up at C much slower than the pair of Marceau, Haragumo, Frice, and Quincy that 07 has chosen, and so therefore the 2 DDs here have managed to put themselves in a position early on to push the Gearing, the Shiki, and the Goliath out of A. The question is then, what can Good Luck Have Fun do about B? And it looks like, yes, the Marceau are actually coming back now, as we thought. However, I'm a little concerned just because they need to get the the Shimikaze of Potato out of the B cap. That's the only way they're going to be able to roll this. And I'm concerned that without taking a more aggressive position, they're simply not going to be able to.
Yeah, I could definitely see those double Marceau just running down the potato, but the question is, how would they do it without being spotted extremely in advance? If that does happen, the Des Moines of Cocknuts is only going to have so much time to engage them before it gets run down. The Shima might make it out, but I don't think the Des Moines will, especially if he's got to leave the rock and has potential Shiki shells coming right at his face. So, could the Shimikaze drop a smokescreen? Maybe give them some kind of information? Probably not. Des Moines just popped some kind of consumable. Don't know if that was Hydro or if that was radar. Whatever it is, the Potato 69 is popping a smoke, keeping him safe, and those 2 Marceaus are looking to contest B, but not going into B. Meanwhile, up in the north, the double Des Moines for GLHF have taken considerable amounts of damage, as they are neither fast like DDs, nor low detection like DDs, eating some damage while trying to trade some back, but not getting a lot for it. It's going to come down to a fight at Bravo. We've got to see how this develops.
Yeah, so Potato obviously taking some shots here from double Marceau and Shimikaze, but not as much as you might think given the rate of fire on those Marceau. So again, oh Jesus, huge spread of Shimikaze torpedoes coming out from there. It looks like most will be dodged, if not all. So well played there by GGWP, but again, they're just not in a position to dig out the Shima, and that's absolutely what they have to do because their battleships are getting pummeled. Almazy Cypher's Shikishima down to 40, Yamato of Kaga Dazzling Fox down to 28. They're just running out of time, and they have to find a way to get the Des Moines of Cocknuts and the Potatoes Shimikaze out of there, and they're not able to do it so far. So I almost want to see these 2 Marceau, excuse me for bonking my mouse there, they could make an aggressive push right up through the middle of B and just start, once the smoke is down at least, just start shelling that Shimikaze until it's dead. The Des Moines of Cocknuts is facing the other way and could only get the rear gun on. So I'm concerned that they're not quite aware of where they should post up to be safe from as much fire as possible, as Frice's Haragumo now putting a lot of fire onto the Shima and to the Marceaus.
Yeah, at a 300-point deficit, it's time to pull the trigger. It's been time to pull the trigger for a little bit now, and they've just got to go on it. Gentleman Walrus is now steaming up toward Velius, who hopefully they could just go in, YOLO this down, throw torps at Cocknuts, and pray that that matters while gunning down the Shimikaze on the way. Stalling out in B is only going to prevent that B cap from giving points to 07. It's not going to give any points to GLHF, and with a 300-point deficit, they're going to have to make it up somewhere. Now it looks like the coordinated push is coming out. General Walrus leading the charge, 25,000 health, followed up by 11,600 on Velius. Going to have some saturation mechanic going there. Opening up with the gunfire. Cocknuts is ready. Going to be a big shot. Wham! Down to 18. We got some shells coming in for the Haragumo. Gentleman Walrus is dipping out torps. Velius is getting gunfire into the Potato. Potato taking some serious damage. Gentleman already down to 9k. He's already hard in the saturation mechanic. The torps whiff. That's going to be a Shimikaze. That's going to be a ram. And looks like the torps from the Shima aren't going to make it. He's got some torps out. Velius under gunfire from multiple angles. Cocknuts is shooting. Frice is shooting. All kinds of people are dunking this Velius. Down to 1,300. More shells come in. That's going to be down goes Frazier as Cocknuts pulls yet another little slippery slimy move as the torpedoes are going to slip right between the two ships and not into him. Obi-Wan Cannoli in the gearing coming into Bravo, hoping to salvage the situation. But oh, buddy, I don't know if he's going to be able to salvage that.
No, I mean it was a brave play by GGWP there, but the unfortunate reality is that they either needed to move up here towards this island, away from the cruiser fire, and start raining HE fire down while maybe the Shimikaze proxy spotted for them, or they needed to send a Marceau onto either side and just rain torpedoes. And unfortunately, they just are They were a little maybe uncoordinated. I don't want to tell them their business. As Kaga Dazzling Fox looking to go down here shortly, he's just under fire from even just the Shimikaze as he's so low. But this looks pretty decisively in 07's favor as they are over 500, now 600 nearly points up, and with a 3-to-1 advantage not 3-to-1 advantage in ships, but they're 3 ships up.
Unfortunately, the woman driver has crashed, is going to pull some points over to the GLHF, but down goes the Yamato of Kaga Dazzling as well. Seems he was in a Yamato, not a Kaga. Maybe that didn't work out for him in the end. Cocknuts in the Des Moines, potentially moving in for Obi-Wan Cannoli, who has dumped some torps. Cocknuts looking around, seeing if he can get a shot. Don't know if that's going to happen. 2 minutes, 51 seconds remaining before this one gets closed out, as the Des Moines from Charlie have finally gotten antsy and are deciding to try to push, make a play, and do something. Don't know if they're going to be able to radar Dort Rotor better. Actually, radar just gets fired off. Wonder if he's going to be in range a little bit. There's some shells. He's going to get out of that radar real quick with a whole bunch of health. Probably not dead, but down goes Obi-Wan Cannoli. It's a lot of ships to 4, and it's a lot of points to 384. I think 07's got this one. Looks like it's going to be a 2-0. I don't see a way out of this one.
Nope, I think that's GGWP. Well played, GGWP. Taking on arguably one of the best teams in North America, i.e. Even in internationals, as 07, of course, as you guys may remember, 07 taking the Verizon tournament internationally by beating out Ban CV TWA from Europe. So, or was it VOR? I can't remember which one they faced in the finals. I think it was Ban CV, but needless to say, some of the best players in the world right here. And so congratulations, GGWP, for taking the fight to them. It was a delightful match. Thank you for the highlights of everyone trying to dunk on Cocknuts there and getting by the skin of his nuts, I suppose. So good game, well played to everybody involved, but looks like 07 takes this one 2-0.
Yep, that one ended up being a little decisive. It didn't necessarily have to be, but more time slipped away as 07's points ticked up. And as you mentioned, the movement of those destroyers allowed them to take really aggressive position a lot faster than the Des Moines. Why? Because their detection is lower. They can take more aggressive lines to get to their positions. Des Moines had to go wider. Plus, their destroyers, they go faster. Both of those things really added up to just not enough pressure fast enough, which meant that some caps fell to 07, and for the most part, they kind of stayed there. The Des Moines did try to come out and help, but then it came down to those Marceaus, the gank squad. How are they going to find something to gank? And that just didn't happen, and they kind of tried for it at the end, but attrition is a bitch, and 07 shots are really good. One of those Marceaus already down to half health before YOLOing in for the commit. They tried it. It looked good. They got the shimma, but they didn't get cocknuts, and they lost a bunch of ships trying to do it. It was just a little late on the trigger, maybe, but it was a good effort.
Yes, indeed. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a little update on whether or not my boys over at TNG are able to, well, frankly, are able to get their game going. It sounds like maybe there was a fix. I'm going to just check real quick one more time. No, they did not.
Okay, well, while you check on that, I am going to swap over and run a little giveaway thingy, because I know how to do that now. Yay!
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're going to be looking for a third match, or are we going to be waiting until the next set?
I'm going to actually go to break for a moment, and I'm going to be trying to help adjudicate some of this issue that's going on, as TNG seems to not be able to get anybody, and there's nobody from Wargaming available to help. So
got it. So I'll see you guys over at Boggy's channel and my channel. We're going to go into a long break until the next set. I hope you have the best of luck with that.
Thank you. Do me a favor. If something happens, like if the next game goes up or what have you, or if you find something to cast, let me know. Just PM me, okay?
Got it. We'll do. Bye.
Thank you.